College Football Playoff News Conference. We are joined by Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney, offensive player of the game Deshaun Watson, and defensive player of the game Ben Boulware. Again, as a reminder, we will open it up immediately for questions for our players. We'll take our first one from right here in the middle.
Leo Haggerty, Night Sports Production, Sports Magazine here in Tampa. For both players, Ben, we'll start with you first. I asked both of you Saturday if it was becoming tiresome that people didn't consider Clemson an elite program, and you said it's elite for us. Is it mission accomplished now with a big exclamation point after it?
Yeah, I think that's something we really didn't focus on too much. Well, I think all season, and especially in this bowl season, we controlled what we had to control. Like I said last night, we controlled our preparation, our attitude throughout the entire game, how hard we worked, and we knew that the output would take care of itself. So whether we were in that the media or the outside world's elite label, we don't put too much focus on that. We just go about our business, and doing that won us a national championship.
Yeah, I agree with that. We don't focus on what the outside people are saying. We just focus on Clemson. And we all just believe in each other, believe in what we can do and what we're going to do. And we just stay with that. We don't listen to all the media or the naysayers or anything like that because they don't control the game or they don't control the outcome. We just focus on what we can control, and that's going out there and performing and being the best we can be.
We'll take our next question from the far left.
Andrea Adelson, ESPN.com. Ben, you gave an impassioned speech on the podium last night talking about all the former players who laid the foundation for you all to get to this point. Why did you decide to give a speech like that in that moment?
Because it's true. There's definitely the guys that came before us, our forefathers like C.J. Spiller, Taj Boyd, and all the guys that I listed last night. That laid the foundation out for us. The Stephon Anthony's and Grady Jarrett has showed me how to work and go to work and grind every day and become a leader. So those are the ones that started this foundation. And this senior class is the one to put the finishing touches on it. But you got to give respect where respect's been earned. And all those guys earned all the respect from us. And all the respect from our university. So that's why I wanted to give them their shout out.
We're going to take our next question over here on the far right.
Joey Johnston from here in Tampa. Obviously, Hunter Renfrow caught the winning touchdown pass last night. I wanted to ask you, Deshaun, and also Ben, as a team leader, what you admire most about Hunter, and also just how happy you are for him to have a special moment like that.
I just admire his work ethic and just the type of person he is, the heart he have, just to be just a loving person, and just regardless if he's getting, the ball thrown to him or he's making plays or he's just, he have to block the whole game. It doesn't matter to him. As long as we get the win, that's all that matters. And he just goes to work each and every day, never complains. Ever since he, first walked on over there on scout team and, is going against in my eyes, the best defense I've seen in college football that year with Stephon and Grady and all those guys, and just over there on scout team and just putting in work. And then Swinney brought him over to the varsity and the first team, and he was doing the same thing. So just being able to see his work kind of shine and then the whole world see it is just awesome. And he's just a better person than a football player too.
I would add one thing to that. And I thought about it last night. To me, that moment, that epitomizes what our program's all about. You got the 5-star quarterback throwing the game-winning touchdown to the walk-on wideout. And that's the epitome of our team. It doesn't matter if you're the 5-star guy or the walk-on, best player plays. You earn it. There's no entitlement in our program. You earn it, period. And everybody knows that. And I remember last year, And everybody's like, well, why aren't we playing Hunter Renfro? I'm like, well, I'm at practice every day, and he's the best player, period. And it's just amazing to me. If we lined all of our managers up, he'd be about the 10th guy you'd pick to be Hunter Renfro. And but I'm just telling you, that's really truly what our program, it epitomizes just a microcosm of our team and our program. It's really special when you have that type of situation. You know, these guys all buy in, and I'm really happy for Hunter. And he's exactly right. Never says a word. Never complains. He'd go through and catch one ball. He just happy as he can be. But they played a lot of two-man on us last night, and Hunter was our answer. Man, they were because he's unbelievable in space. He's very difficult to handle. And Deshaun did a great job of finding him. We made some adjustments, and I think he ended up with 10 catches. I didn't know that, but that couldn't happen to a better guy.
Take our next question from the far left, back over on the far left.
Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports, for Deshaun and Dabo. How much of an art are those rub plays down on the goal line where, the line between offensive pass interference and just picking a guy to get open?
As a reminder, we're going to do this just for the players, and then we'll open it up for a coach.
Oh, okay. Well, let me say that I know I got you, Amy. But before he answers that, it should have been defensive pass interference. Yes, it's a rub play. It's a pick play. Artavis was actually trying to go pick the guy, but he couldn't get there because he got tackled. Unbelievable. I mean, literally the guy tackles him. So it was a heck of a play. Renfro did a nice job of setting it up, but yes, it's a rub play. And when you play zero coverage, man coverage, you're susceptible to crossing routes and mesh plays and things like that. We didn't quite get that opportunity. I mean, if you really watch the play, we never even got a chance to even rub the guy. But he had to play over the top. That's the way the play's designed. And Renfro, first of all, has to set his defender, and he made it happen.
He probably said it all. Yeah, just type of, every offense have that type of play, and it was just a perfect call. We just knew they were going to be in cover zero when we were inside the 5. Actually, I think they were expecting us to run it up the middle, but, just the best play call to, get it to one of our best players in space, and that was Hunter, and, it was just a perfect time to call it.
We're going to go in the middle section here.
Yeah, it's Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post. And Deshaun, by my count, you were 10 years, 3.5 months old when Vince Young led Texas down the field against USC, and you brought it up last night. So I was wondering if you have memories of that night, if you stayed up and watched it, if you were allowed to, what specific things you might remember.
I just remember that last drive, and sitting in my mom's room because I always had football on, and just seeing him, really running to the corner of the end zone and kind of jumping up. And then, at the end, just seeing all the confetti come down, and it's just one of those games like last night where it just came down to the very end, and he pulled it out, and I did the same thing for my team.
We're going to take our next question from right over here in the middle section, slightly off to the right.
Ralph Russo, Associated Press, up for Ben and Deshaun. You talked about the players who got you here. What gives you confidence that you are handing it off to players who will keep this program where it is now?
Well, I think on the defensive side of the ball, that's all we've done the past 4 years. We've reloaded every year, and we've been a top 10 defense. My sophomore year, we lost 8 guys to the league. Next year, we were top 10. Last year, we lost 7 or 8 guys. This year, we're top 10 again. So I know defensively, we're not losing near as many guys on our side of the ball. I know Coach Venables and the rest of our staff is going to bring in some of the best talent in the country. So the talent's always going to be there. So that's not really something we worry about.
I just say it's the culture here. It's the next man up. And that's always been what Coach Sweeney preaches, regardless of, like you said, if it's a 5-star walk-on, the best guy is gonna play, and we always have make sure the guys is prepared regardless. If they're freshmen or seniors, and we like Coach Dabo and all the players before, they just pass the torch to us. They set it up, and for instance, Taj passed it down to me, and I'm gonna pass it down to whoever's next, whoever earned that job, and we all know that Clemson is only gonna get better. And it's just going to keep growing and keep growing. And you think this is the best, if Clemson just wait, the next 5 years, it's going to be even more exciting and more awesome.
We're going to stay in the same section right here in the middle.
Kirk Bowles from the Austin American Statesman. Deshaun, with your performance all season long, punctuated by last night, do you think you made a case for you maybe being the first pick of the NFL draft?
I don't get caught up in that. I'm just gonna bloom where I'm planted. So regardless of where I go, whoever takes me, I'm gonna go work hard and put in work and just play my role and be the best I can be. So I don't get caught up in all the hype of the draft and the first pick and all that stuff. God has a plan for me, and I just try to get better and go to work, and be the best I can be.
Take our next question from the far left.
Deshaun, Gene Zappa from the Charleston Post and Courier. What can you say about the confidence you have in Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott and how they mesh with the rhythm of what you're trying to do out there?
It's awesome. It's a teamwork. There's never conflict or we're always on the same page. And they just have my best interests. And whatever I'm comfortable with, whatever they're comfortable with, we just on the same page all the time. And we just do a good job of making sure we call the right plays at the right time, making sure we're in the right play. And it just starts with love. We just have love and appreciation for each other, just because it starts with, us putting in the work and practice and in the film room and just even off the field. And we just have that type of relationships where we can connect, and it just kind of bring a ease whenever the game time come on, and just go out there and just perform, and whatever they call, I'm comfortable with it and ready to go.
Next question from right down here in the front row, off
Right.
to the right.
Brad Sink of Anderson Independent Mail. Ben, you grew up a Clemson fan. You grew up near Clemson. You're so much part of that community. What is the sense of pride that you have when you're taking that trophy back to your hometown?
It's huge. Just really for our entire community. It's a bunch of blue collar people down there just going to work. So it's been 35 long years. That community in Clemson and the entire upstate has been waiting a long time. So for me and the rest of the guys on our team to bring it back home, it's a very satisfying feeling, especially just to see the fruit of your labor. We've been grinding all season. And that's kind of been our main thing we wanted to do, just bring it back for the fans. So to finally get that done, it's very satisfying.
We're going to go back to the middle on the aisle.
Deshaun, Todd Summers, WSBA TV out of Spartanburg. You've told us so many times that you prepared for big moments, and that helps you stay calm. Ball in your hands, 2 minutes to play. Your thought process leading that team down the field to win a national title.
I said it last night. Whenever they scored, and I just look at the clock, it was 2:01 on the clock, and I just kind of smiled. And I told myself they left too much time on the clock. We practice 2 minutes all the time, and we prepare for moments like this, all the time. And we've had so many situations throughout the season where we did it, before halftime, at the end of the game. So it was just another opportunity for us to show what we're about, just on a bigger stage. And just a awesome time. God put us there for a reason, and we just went out there, and I told the guys, hey, let's be great, let's be special. And my offensive line gave me time. The receivers made big plays, and I just had pretty much the easy part, just getting the ball in the direction of the receivers and let them go up there and make the plays. So it's an awesome feeling, and it was a great way to finish off the game last night.
Last question for our players.
This question is for Deshaun and Ben. Kevin O'Donnell, Fox 13 in Tampa. You could see the emotions pour out after the game was over last night on the field, but when did it really kind of hit you that you were national champs, and how did you celebrate the night? It doesn't look like you got much sleep.
it kind of hit me whenever we, recovered the onside kick at the end. But I really couldn't move. I know people got pictures of me just sitting there, just kind of, tears in my eyes of just really joy, just because all the hard work we put in. And like Ben said earlier, just for all the former players that came through, C.J. Spiller, Taj Boy, who made this program, what it is today. And we're just kind of, it was our time to, solidify the deal of, getting that national championship. And of course, Sweeney always preached, once you get one, you can get two, and you can get three. So it's many more to come, and just kind of knowing that all the hard work and times and early mornings, late nights is really coming to show.
Yeah, I realized it when he took a knee. I was waiting till I make sure there was 0-0-0 on that clock. I knew anything can happen in college football. So when it hit 0, that's when I realized we're national champions. And I didn't really celebrate last night. I didn't get any sleep at all. I was actually up all night. I did not get a minute of sleep, so I'm super tired. I feel like crap. So hopefully I can get some sleep on this plane ride home, because I'm hurting really, really bad. Not a lot.
Deshaun, Ben, congratulations. Thanks for being here. We're going to let you get back with your team and continue to
Thank you all.
celebrate. At this time, we'll take questions for Coach. We're going to start right up here in the middle, off to the right.
Coach Leo Haggerty again. Renfro's catch, everybody's going to remember, but how big was his tackle on the fumble that kept it to 17 instead of 21? Because you talked Saturday, you can't let them score on defense.
Yeah, I felt like if they've beaten everybody, they've scored on special teams and defense. Knots, they created a new name, and it was a big goal of ours. And that's a hidden play in the game. It's a play, that play, the pooch punt by Deshaun on I think it was 4th and 2 there, and we thought about it, contemplated going for it, but we're up. I think it was 10. They were up 10. We just could not get field position. And I just felt like, let's try to flip the field here, get a stop, and kind of reload with good field position. And that's what happened. That play and the tackle by Renfro were, just kind of 2 plays mixed in a bunch of plays. But man, those were monsters. And that was one of the big keys for us. We were 4 for 4 in the red zone, 4 touchdowns, I believe. And they had 3 points. Don't ever ask me about turnovers again. I mean, I can't even say. If you'd have told me we were going to have 2 turnovers against Alabama, we get beat. But our defense rose up. They got 3 points off of the 2 turnovers. But that tackle was huge, huge.
We're going to go all the way over to the far left.
Hey, Dabo, over here. Matt Baker with the Tampa Bay Times. You guys have made this area in particular a key part of your recruiting, particularly with receivers. Wondering kind of what you thought of Dion and Artavius, who both made some pretty big plays last night.
Well, just first of all, and I told Dion after the game, I'm just so proud of that kid. It's a special. It's disappointing when you have. It's like your children. Sometimes your children disappoint you, and you have to discipline them. But when you have to do it in front of the whole world, that's a difficult thing to do. We all have kids and we have issues, but that usually stays within our house. And it's unfortunate that but it comes with the territory, and there's consequences for your actions. And it was a very difficult situation last year, the Orange Bowl, and left him at home when we went to Arizona. And for that kid didn't let him go through spring. For him to have the type of year that he had, I mean, it just he's changed his life forever, and it's just special to see it all culminate for him 1 year later in his hometown, to have the type of game that he had, incredible spark that he gave us on that first touchdown with the screen. He had some huge plays, so I'm just really, really happy for Dion. And it's just very gratifying to see him grow up and mature and earn it. Kid, like I said, he's changed his life forever. And then Artavis, Ray, and I know Ray didn't. I don't know if he had many catches last night, but man, Ray McLeod, he's a special young man, a special player, going to be a great player. So thankful we got him. But I'm very happy for Artavis, and I think with Artavis, it just goes to show you the type of influence one person can have on another. He was a solid student. I wouldn't say he was a great student, a guy that was passionate about it. But then all of a sudden he comes to Clemson as a mid-year, graduated early, came to Clemson as a mid-year, and he gets roomed up with Deshaun Watson. And all of a sudden Deshaun's taking 18 hours. You're taking 18 hours? Well, I'll take 18 hours. And the competitiveness, and all of a sudden Artavis just kind of transformed into this incredibly committed young person. And he also graduated in 3 years, just like Deshaun, and is the leading receiver in the history of our school. Just a heck of a football player. He plays receiver, but he is a heck of a football player. And this is a great area for us. We will continue to recruit down here, obviously a ton, but I'm very happy for those guys. It's special, I know, for them to be able to come back and play in the Buck Stadium, and to win a national championship is just incredible.
We're going to go in the back middle.
Coach Joe Cook, News 19, WLTX in Columbia, South Carolina. Right here. All the way.
In the back standing.
All the way.
Red shirt.
All the way. All the way.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
How you doing, Coach?
I slept an hour. Actually, I watched the sunrise. It was incredible.
Coach, just talk about what you hope this national title will do for your program in terms of recruiting and keeping the winning culture going. How this, affect recruiting in terms of how you recruit now with the national title.
Well, I mean, we've been recruiting at a high level. That's not going to change. Certainly with this, it's just just kind of solidifies what we're doing. Biggest thing for us is to continue to do a great job of evaluating, recruiting guys that fit our program, that fit our culture, and then developing them. That's the key for us. Not getting caught up in recruiting. I mean, we're going to probably sign 14 or 15 guys this year. It's going to be a very small class next year, probably only 12 or 13 guys. We're a big freshman, sophomore team. We're not some heavy veteran team. We're a very, very young football team. And so, I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt. The biggest thing was this just was the only thing we hadn't done. It was the next step for us. I mean, it just, there was kind of, when I got the job, there were like lids on the program, like, okay, Clemson, you can only do this, but don't go any higher than that. You can win 9, but let's don't win 10. And we just have slowly just knocked all the lids off the program, and this was the last one. And to do it against Alabama, who's been the best, and the teams that we've played, the teams that we've beaten over the last 8 years, there's just really, I mean, we're selling results. Bottom line, you look at 135 seniors, 129 graduates, and we got 21 more graduates fixing to add to that number. Every one of these seniors will be we graduated by May. Every single one of them. That's we think that we have a great program to sell, and we're very proud of that. So, it's the best is yet to come for us. I mean, this is not the end all. It's a great moment, and it's something that we needed to get done. But Thursday I'm gonna have a team meeting with the 2017 team, and there'll be a new group of seniors sitting in the front row. New challenges, new journey. Kind of lay out the vision a little bit for next year. We'll celebrate this weekend, this championship with our banquet and the parade and all that stuff, and then we'll start over. So, it's just you never arrive. You know, you're always striving to get better. What's next? And you know, for us, it'll be, like I said, enjoying this moment, but getting excited about coming back and seeing if we can charge back up the mountain next year.
Over to our far left in the front.
Coach Mike Bianchi from the Orlando Sentinel. Speaking of recruiting, what did it mean for your program to be able to land Deshaun Watson? What has he meant to the program? Also, for us Florida guys, he said he always wanted to go to Florida. How hard of a recruiting battle was that for you?
Well, I mean, he's the best player that's ever come through there, so it meant a lot. You know, what's his final record's 32-3. He set the standard. I mean, high standard. Graduated in 3 years, honor roll student. Represented the program in an incredible way. Unbelievable leadership. So easy to coach. And like I said, he lost in the national championship game. We scored 40 points. He threw for 400-something yards. He lost to Pitt. He threw for 570 yards, scored 42 points. And he lost to Georgia Tech, where he only played about 12 or 15 plays. Got hurt. So he's an incredible winner. And we're not sitting here without Deshaun Watson. This is what he came to do. But, you know, he called me on signing day, which is in February, the first Wednesday in February every year. And he called me on that day, on signing day of his sophomore year in high school, and said, "Coach, I'm ready to be your quarterback." I actually tried to talk him out of it. I said, "Listen, Deshaun, you're just in the 10th grade. You know, why don't we let this just kind of marinate a little while?" And you know, because I knew he was an unbelievable, and I knew what we were going to be dealing with, and all the other schools, and I just, you know, I literally tried to talk him out of it, but he said, "No, Coach, this is what I want to do." And that's the epitome of Deshaun Watson. He knew what he wanted to do early. And he didn't take another official visit anywhere. Stayed true to his word. And he came in and went to work. And the rest is history.
We're going to stay on the same side, one section over.
Dabo, Brett McMurphy with ESPN. 6 seconds on the clock on the game-winning touchdown. If the clock's at 5 seconds, you still run that play, or do you kick the field goal? And or if that play's incomplete, you have 1 or 2 seconds on the clock, do you go for the win or send it to overtime?
5 seconds, yes, we run the same play. You know, I felt like it was going to be a 4-second play. It's going to be, you know, in and out. I felt like I could get a timeout with 1 second. Less than that, we kick the field goal and go into overtime and see what happens. But, you know, our mentality was to play to win. I was trying to hang on to a timeout. I was just kind of guarding it with my life. That's why we clocked the ball with 22 seconds. Because I didn't want to get in a situation where we're having to run what we call red field goal. You know, the clock's running, you're trying to run your guys out there on a red field goal situation. It's a long way to go. You guys coming off the sideline, and I didn't want to get into that situation. So I was trying with everything I had to keep one timeout. And I think we called a timeout. I think it was 14 seconds maybe. And that was a fun timeout. That was a fun huddle. We took a shot with Leggett, what we call menu 2 special, and D-Dub threw it away, wasn't there, came right back and literally checked from the sideline to Mike, and we got PI. So it was a lot of discussion there on what the right play was, and that's why I love working with Tony and Jeff, because, you know, we have such a great chemistry, and they have such trust too with each other. But Jeff was he was adamant on the play. You know, I wasn't as sure because we had run that earlier in the game and they had given us a different coverage. but we were inside the 5, and they'd pretty much shown basically zero coverage inside the 5. And Jeff was just, I mean, he was adamant about it. I said, okay, let's go. And I felt good about it with Deshaun because I was going to get him on the move. So I knew we wouldn't get a sack. So I felt very confident with 6 seconds that we could manage that situation. And if we didn't hit it right there, then we would have kicked the field goal for sure. But when we had it down there, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, we were playing to win. We were not playing to kick a field goal. We were playing to try to win the game. And, we were able to put it in number 4's hands, and he got it done.
We're going to come over here to the middle section off to the right in the middle.
Larry Williams, TigerIllustrated.com. Dabo, you're saying the best is yet to come after winning a national title. Y'all are about to move into a nice little facility in a couple of weeks. Does that sort of accentuate the feeling that this is just sort of a beginning for you guys?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I tell you, this is a dream come true. It's one of the things I told the team during the season. We on our practice field every day watch that facility get built. And that was, I said, we're sitting here watching this. This is something special being built right here. But we're also building something special in this field. And, they're putting the finishing touches. We're putting the finishing touches on this season. And to be able to move in that building in a couple of weeks, I have not packed one thing, by the way. Oh my God, I dread that. But to be able to move the national champion into that building, it's just incredible to take this trophy and have that right there when you walk in this new spectacular building. It's just really surreal. It really is, and it's very fitting. And just a blessing. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the best is yet to come for us. I mean, we're going to continue to improve, continue to get better, and winning national championships are hard. It's very, very difficult to do. It's been 35 years at Clemson, and I've like I said in 2011, I said, we had 30 years since we'd been in the Orange Bowl. I'm like, listen, I don't know when we're getting back, but it ain't gonna be 30 years, and now we've been to 3 Orange Bowls, and won 2 of them, and it won't be 35 years before Clemson will do this again. God willing, I'll be a part of it, but. This program is built to last.
Next question over here, same section, slightly over to the right.
Dabo, Tim Reynolds of the Associated Press. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The Heisman winner comes from the ACC. The ACC had by far the best bowl record of any conference, and now the national champion comes from the ACC. What does all that success mean for the conference, and are the days of perception that this conference might take a backseat to anyone else out there, are they kind of gone for good now?
I think all you media folks need to change your stories. I mean, y'all, it sounds good. I've been in this league a long time, and this league's never gotten the respect that it deserves. But I said about 5 years ago or something, just keep your mouth shut, go play. If we want to change the story, then we're going to change it from the inside out. Let's line them up and let's go play them. And you got to win those games. I told my AD that. I told Terry Don Phillips that. I said, Terry Don, we got to, we got to go play people, and we got to win. We got to find a way. That's the only way it's going to change. And then as a conference, everybody has taken pride in that. And I knew. I mean, I watch all the tape. I watched all the Big Ten film and all that stuff. This is the best conference in college football. It's the deepest. It's the most competitive. 11 bowl teams, and it's back-to-back years, something like that we've done that. You look at the head-to-head records in the SEC against the SEC. It's just incredible. What this you don't want to play a team from this conference. You just don't. I don't care. Name one, and that's why we're ready. That's why we're ready to go play Oklahoma 2 years in a row. That's why we're ready to go play Ohio State 2 out of the last 4 years. We're ready. because of what we see week in and week out in this conference. Look at the NFL draft, and the SEC is a great conference too, but the best and deepest league is this league that we're competing in, and incredible coaches, great coaches. So it's just how I feel about it.
We're going to take our last two questions. We're going to start over here in the middle section, slightly to the left.
Will Vandervoort, the Clemson Insider. Dabo, I'm right here. Hey, could you talk to me last night when you guys rolled in on the buses? You kind of walked back and kind of talked to your team a little bit. What that message was that you told them as you were getting off that bus?
No, I'm gonna keep that between me. I ride the defensive bus everywhere I go, just had I've never really done that, to be honest with you. I usually just get off the bus, but just had a little something on my heart. I want to share it with them, and but what happens on the bus stays on the bus, right?
We'll take our last
Hey,
question.
can I say something, Will? You local guys, our local media. I don't know who all's here, but the guys who cover Clemson day in and day out, man, I'm happy for you guys too. It's just your profession, and what a great moment for y'all as well. What a great experience for y'all to get a chance to be along and cover this team. You guys do a great job. Y'all done an awesome job of covering our team, and we don't always agree on everything, but y'all are class people, and I'm happy for all of you local guys that are there every day in and day out, that y'all get a chance. We're not at the chainsaw bowl somewhere. Y'all got a chance to spend your company's money and stay in good hotels and eat good food and go on a heck of a run, man. Not everybody gets to do that either, and y'all deserve it as well. I'm happy for y'all.
Last question, front row.
John Solomon, CBS Sports. Dabo, speaking of money, Clemson historically doesn't have the most amount of revenue compared to some of your competitors. Yeah. Through the years, did you have to think outside the box to win? And how much do you think money matters to win in college football?
Well, there's no doubt. If we'd have walked out there last night and brought our checkbooks, we got our butt kicked. If we're comparing budgets and checkbooks and all that stuff, we get how many 5 stars, and we get dominated. But it matters. You have to be competitive, and for me, it's been an unbelievable journey. I laid out a vision 8 years ago and said, hey, we needed to change how Clemson thought. And I remember sitting down with Terry Don Phillips, and I told him, I said, hey, look, I don't really care what you pay me. My first contract, I didn't even read it. I just signed it. I didn't even read it. I said, I really don't care. Leave me on the contract that I had. I said, but you got to give me a chance to build a infrastructure here, and we got to compete. And so it matters. There's no question. And then I had to, there was times where I had to do things, financially to kind of make it work. But I believe you get what you earn. I needed to go prove it. I needed to earn that. I have no problem with that. I didn't want anything given to me. My message to Terry Don was just let me do this, and we're going to build something. We're not going to take any shortcuts, and slowly but surely we kind of broaden those boundaries. So, I think that it matters. We're incredibly competitive, but if we're comparing alumni bases and things like that, heck, we go out to play Ohio State last week, and good Lord have mercy, I thought we were in Columbus when we showed up. There were so many Ohio State people there. That's what's special about this moment, and that's the only thing I told our team was, the theme of this whole playoff was chasing greatness. Whoever came up with that, what a great theme. And I said, that's one of the opportunities we have is to give hope to a lot of people out there that greatness is for everyone. It's not just for the Alabamas and the Ohio States and the Notre Dames and Texases. Just bloom where you're planted. Be about the right things, be efficient. I wouldn't take anything from my staff. I really wouldn't. I've got a great group of young guys, that maybe don't have some of the pedigrees of some of these schools with some of their support staff and things like that. But, we got a good group that works their tails off, and I'm very blessed with the support that I have at Clemson. No doubt about it. We've come a long way, but we've earned it. We've earned it. Nobody's given us anything. We have earned every step of the way what we've been able to do. And I'm appreciative of the board and the president and AD for giving me the resources to have a chance to compete at the highest level.
Thanks, Coach. We're going to take a second here to get